Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to our second matchup in the Challenger Cup. This one should be a great game for you guys. We have Torch versus My Revenge, two teams that have been around for a while. First band already out. My Revenge opting to take out Habois.
Yeah, Habois is actually starting to have some popularity in the North American Challenger scene, at least. And we did see him yesterday played by Thirst. He's very popular in European. He is a first pick, second pick material, banned a lot, and so it's definitely going to see him cross over. Cirquette has been popular since people have been able to play her, and I don't mean that in terms of tournament rules. I mean that in terms of player skill.
Yeah.
Once we learned her, we were like, oh, she's OP.
Yeah. I mean, even on paper. So, Cirquette was interesting. On paper, she seems extremely strong. She can take out 20% of your health with a single basic attack. She just seems strong on paper. But in practice, it was difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
Give some players some time in the gym, and all of a sudden, she's first pick, first ban material. Also first pick, first ban material are all the other ones. Loki, Freya. Again, standard bans. Mercury comes out for the first pick overall. No surprise there. And Torch takes Noir and Athena again. Very traditional first, second, third picks.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting the place we're at right now where there's about 8 gods that you can first pick and it's not weird. It's not special. So very, very interesting. It comes down a lot to individual team matchups. And in this case, when you might not know the teams as well, a lot about preferences. Mercury is the character that Gitsticker plays in 1v1 chess. I'm going to pull up his stats. F-Dot, why don't you tell us a little bit about the next pick that's been hovered on, Aphrodite?
Aphrodite is a fantastic pickup, usually played in the solo lane. Does occasionally come out and play in that support role, but that takes a different type of pilot. Support Aphrodite takes a delicate hand, and really, to be quite honest with you, we've only seen Shadowq play that really to the full extent of the character. Seeing the Hercules come out, both of these characters sort of thrive in the solo lane, so it's going to be interesting to see where My Revenge opts to put both of these characters.
On the other hand, you get Shunga picked up for Torch. It's a common counter pick for Aphrodite, but is dependent on the implementation. If you don't play the matchup right, you don't really have the full effect of a counter, which is unlike some of the other counter picks where, like, Geb versus Sobek just doesn't work because the Stone Shield stops him from doing anything. Looking at Gitsticker's stats, in League Conquest, he has a 95% win rate with Mercury. In Masters, that's 457 wins, 25 losses.
That's pretty insane. I knew he was good. Knowing he's that good is a different story. Mercury, again, I feel like I need to reiterate this. Mercury, Aphrodite, Hercules, all 3 characters thrive in the solo lane. You thought we had an ambiguous matchup before, folks. All of these characters can fit into multiple roles for My Revenge. Torch on the other side, after counterbans come out, Apollo and Jean Quay is a little more cut and dry. You have Athena, Chunga, Ram, and Noir. That seems a little more traditional.
Now, on the side of My Revenge, one of the things I find interesting about this roster is you have a team within a team. Gitsticker, Icky, Sticky, and Explicit are a 3v3 team. Right. And Mercury, Aphrodite, Hercules is one of their signature compositions. They'll also play Kronos. I don't think they've played Poseidon, and that's definitely an unconventional pick, as is the Scylla that's currently being hovered on. They're not bad. It's not like Arachne or Anubis where you see it picked, you're just like, well, that's interesting. It's sort of in the Vulcan school of picks where you're like, I could see that god being good. I just haven't seen it be good yet.
I agree with that one. Kronos, another character. Every single character from My Revenge is going into the solo lane. They're not going to be playing anywhere else but the solo lane.
Well, Poseidon mid, 4 people in the solo lane, and they're going to kill the hell out of Chunga. That's their game plan.
Realistically, let's try to decipher this one, Kret. So Poseidon will most likely be your mid mage. That is his standard. We've seen him flirt with the jungle, and he's one of those mid mages that can go into the solo lane because why not? Kronos pretty much gets stuck in the solo lane unless you're Jerby. Jerby plays in middle lane. So I'm expecting to see Poseidon and Kronos in mid and solo respectively. The jungle being played by the traditional... honestly, I think we'll see Herc jungle, Merc Afro lane.
Okay, that's definitely something that could happen. I'm going to go with Poseidon mid Afro solo. Kronos ADC with a Hercules support, and Merc in the jungle. There are definitely a lot of options for how this could work out. Torch is just more understandable. Moonbot's in the jungle, Chang'e in the solo lane, Athena in the dual lane is the support role with a Rama ADC, and Nuwa in the middle lane. And I think the only matchup that Torch is relying on, the Chang'e versus Aphrodite match, is likely to happen. We'll see if it does, because we're going to head into our next game now, so stay tuned, and we'll be back with My Revenge versus Torch.
Welcome back, folks, and we're here with your next round matchup. This is going to be Team Return versus Torch. Torch making out on the right side of your map. It's going to be Luck Q playing on Chang'e, Forsaken Priest in that Athena support role, Defoe and Nuwa most likely going to head towards that middle lane. Headshot play in the jungle on Hun Bat, and One Glance on Ram. Making up My Revenge is going to be Arabella playing Aphrodite. Hold that thought, though. We're watching the entire red team come over here near the Gold Fury. Torch is over here. They haven't spotted out the enemy, but they know that they're somewhere. One step ahead, heard something. So they're going to play it safe. And everybody's going to go return safely to where they came from. Iggy Sticky's going to be playing that Mercury in the jungle. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see Mercury in the jungle. And Cry for Turtle is going to be his support on that Hercules. So Git Sticker, like we said, we can expect Git Sticker to go into the middle lane on that Poseidon. So Arabella and Explicit are the ones that we will see. Explicit will be the hunter role, and Arabella will be in the solo lane.
Yeah, on the other side, as we mentioned, it's a lot easier to understand. But let's talk about these matchups really quick. The Poseidon and Nuwa matchup in the middle lane isn't something that's really been explored because they've never really been played at the same time. When Nuwa was reintroduced and modified, Poseidon just hasn't been a popular pick. So I'm sure someone in chat knows a little bit about it, but my guess is going to be that Nuwa is going to be really on the back foot in terms of clear. Poseidon's clear is actually really strong. Once you hit level 2, you just Whirlpool, Tidal Surge, you clear most of the wave and build up Tide. Once you hit level 3, Whirlpool, Tidal Surge, those two abilities full clear the wave. So expect Git Sticker to get very aggressive with his clear, and then potentially use that to expand his advantage around the map. But because of his build with the Soul Reliquary, he's not looking for early rotations, whereas if you throw your memory back to when Poseidon was very popular, a lot of the Poseidon builds were Vamp Shroud and actually boots rank 1, so you could make an early rotation for the long lane. That's not going to happen. Instead, Git Sticker is going to be using his movement seed to supplement his mobility while he goes for a high damage item in Book of Thoth. Definitely an interesting idea. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Ram versus Kronos, another interesting matchup?
Ram versus Kronos is definitely, as I said, an interesting matchup. One of Kronos' problems early is that he just doesn't really do much. He basically, early game, Kronos revolves around his abilities, namely Time Rift, the small #1, and the slow Time Stop. So what we're going to see is Kronos is going to be using those abilities to clear the lane early, which will actually kind of stop Ram from his early clear. Ram needs to really stand in a straight line right in front of the minions to get them with his astral arrows, and has to hit him a couple of times, Kret. So Time Stop is going to deter One Glance from really doing that. So early on, I think this will go probably not to Kronos because of the way how weak he is, but One Glance is going to be hesitant on actually clearing.
Yeah, and when it comes to later in the game, it's really more of a skill matchup, but Explicit will have the distinct advantage of essentially having a Fatalis. So he's able to move at full speed while auto-attacking, and that can make things very difficult for One Glance, who, on the other hand, might be the best equipped carry to deal with Kronos because he does have a built-in slow and widener on his auto-attacks. It's going to be very interesting, and I think Ram is well equipped to deal with Kronos. It's just hard to deal with no matter what. On the right-hand side, Afro Merc heading into lane. It did take them a while to clear, but they don't have to be super careful in this solo duo matchup. They are going to have the advantage. They have the ability to pull their opponents out of position. They have poke, they have clear, and they have sustain. That's everything you could possibly want at this stage of the game.
Yeah, we usually call how My Revenge came into this lane the unsafe way, but there's no displacement on the way of Torch in this lane. You know, you have the Monkey and you have Chunga, so no displacement is there, and there's really nothing to be afraid of. So they just walked in, face tanked one single hit, and as you said, they have the sustain thanks to Love Doves, and they're gonna really suffer. This duo lane, though, Kronos really winning the push.
Yeah, Kronos is actually able to control the push, and a big part of that, something we didn't really mention, is the Hercules, who's just such a big threat. If you get in range of his Earthbringer, and then you get pulled, as Athena almost did there, not quite, but almost, you can be in a lot of trouble, and if you don't die, you're going to lose the majority of your health. One Glance does still have his health potion on deck, and Athena is still sitting on 2 health potions, but it's not going to be fun either way. Early rotation from Headshot to the middle lane. He's not going to want to stay in that solo lane for long because he doesn't really have too much potential to exert pressure. So his rotation into the mid lane to pick up his red buff and give that to Noir is definitely beneficial, and they'll be clearing that now. In the dual lane, Cry for Turtle's actually taken the most damage out of anyone in this lane.
Yeah, there's been a lot of push back from the red team. Torch bringing Cry for Turtle down to about half HP, but between his Watcher's Gift, a health pot that he popped, and his Mitigate Wounds, that's going to really not be that big of an issue. Take a look at the solo lane. The 2 healing mages and goddesses are really just taking each other on head on. Both of them sitting at about 75% healing up after they poke. This should be a violent solo lane that I don't expect many kills in, despite the high damage numbers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after Chunga is a matchup that oftentimes will stay even in lane, and it really blossoms more in the team fights in certain ways.
Good flip in the duo lane. Gets a stun out by Cry Turtle. Forsaken Priest is going to come over here, but here comes the Monkey with the ultimate. Nuwa ult's going to help out. Rom's in the air. One more shot. It's good. Explicit. Not going to get hit by Rom, but Headshot seals the deal. Cry for Turtle all by himself. That's going to trade a Kronos for the Kronos, and Hercules are going to go down. Torch, 2 kills, one of them first blood, 3.5 minutes in.
Yeah, great rotation there coming from Headshot, hitting just the right timing. He was level 5, his opponents were not. Great gank, and Explicit somehow, he actually died at level 4, and then I think a minion he had tagged died. So he never had rewind in that fight. It will be up now, and he's going to actually be rushing a Doom Orb. So Torch is going to be looking to keep the pressure up on the long lane. A big part of that is vision. So look for My Revenge to be warding, and look for Torch to either be taking sneakier jungle paths, maybe even jumping the Gold Fury. But hold on, in the middle lane, it's a pull. Mercury is here looking for Forsaken Priest.
That's going to be the Kraken on top of Forsaken Priest, already extremely low. Able to get out of there. Not quite, says Cry for Turtle. Throws the boulder. That's going to seal that deal. Going to be 1 kill on the way of My Revenge. So an excellent way to respond. And I want to talk about this Doom Orb, as Chunga slowly chips down this right-hand tower. I love Doom Orb on Kronos ADC. I think it is... Doom Orb is an extremely potent item with horrible secondary stats. So when it comes to Heartseeker, when you die, you still have an upside. Hey, at least I'm still faster than them. When you die with Doom Orb, you're kind of just screwed. In the duo lane, you're safe for the most part. You get vision from your support. Your support's there sometimes. You get guaranteed farm. I like the pickup on Kronos in the duo lane.
And honestly, Kronos is relatively safe. I wouldn't say he's worse off than your average ADC. Apollo's safer than him, but Apollo's safer than everybody. Yeah. Kronos has a stun, he has a move speed boost, and he has the ability to rewind and reposition. So when you play properly and, you know, adjust the matchups, something that some seasoned Kronos players will do when they feel they're under pressure is you sit at the back of your lane. When the minions are coming into lane, you run up and clear, which ensures that your rewind position will be back by your tower. And because of your move speed boost, you can actually rewind a very long way when you do this properly. So he's got a lot of options to stay safe, and the Doom Orb can be very potent because it accelerates his coming online, which can often take some time.
Exactly. One of Kronos' downsides is the fact that he just takes so long, and the Doom Orb just allows him to do that earlier, as you said. Coming into the middle lane, looks like a lot of violence. Headshot gonna miss the monkey throw. Gonna slow Gitsticker with that jump. Ultimate coming out from Gitsticker, but the Athena ult's gonna make sure it does next to nothing. Fear no Evil comes out, and fear the damage. Headshot gets last hit. Gitsticker goes down. For the backside, Lucky Q comes around. Gonna kill out Icky Sticky. 2 kills for Torch in that engagement, and it's still going on, chasing Arabella.
Yeah, Arabella getting very close to the tower shield wall, gonna come out. Here comes Cry for Turtle, and Forsaken Priest has to be very, very careful. The boulder comes out, is gonna hit once, and it bounces back. Great play, but Lucky finds a turn around kill. Torch sitting 5-2.
The positioning of that boulder was absolutely beautiful, Cret.
Yeah.
He threw it at the wall intentionally to bounce around that back Harpy camp and come back for the hit. That was intentional. There was no way that was an accidental just pinball bounce. Calculated and cool is that Hercules play. Really love to see that.
And that's exactly what I was talking about last match with the Bastet cats, where you set up for the cat block. You set yourself up for the bounce. That won't happen every time, and it's not really RNG. It's more of like human error. You're not perfect. You don't know the perfect geometry of the map. You can get better at it, but even the best Hercules players won't hit that every time. But when you do hit it, it looks really cool, it feels really good, and it's really effective. Defoe is going to get taken down a left-hand jungle, picked off by Cry for Turtle and Icky Sticky on a rotation. One of the big problems of Nuwa, you don't really have an escape. You can shroud yourself in fog and be more annoying to kill, but it's nothing close to any of the mage escapes or Loki's stealth. It's a defensive ability. It's not an escape.
Yeah, by far. And here we're seeing just what that Doom Orb can do for Kronos. Doesn't really have too many stacks, but already has no problem clearing this wave with a simple time stop, time rift combination. So he's not quite online just yet, ready to fight people, but he can clear this wave and just sort of dance while one glance has to still hit it with a couple of astral arrows.
On the right-hand side, tower will go down. Lucky winning the Chunga Aphrodite matchup, only up 1 level. And I really want to mention this decision from Lucky. He's not rushing into Divine Ruin because, honestly, in lane, you kind of want a little bit more damage. Divine Ruin, yes, will stop Aphrodite's healing, but if you don't do as much damage as she does, she'll still heal for more than you do, and she'll still out-damage you. When you go for Pen Boots, you out-damage her by far, and you still have a healing, it's kind of even with your healing debuff, but her stronger heals.
Yeah, and I don't want to say, Cret, that is just objectively the correct thing to do. A Divine Ruin is a fantastic item, but I almost never think that it's worth it in lane. It's a team fight item. I like to see it second or third.
I want to see it later. Probably, it looks like Lucky was probably going into a Void Stone, and after that, Divine Ruin would be great, because the advantage of what Aphrodite is so strong doing, and in this matchup is what she was intended to do, is link onto Merc, link onto Herc. They rhyme, so you know that's the plan. And then they're in the front, they're hard to kill because they're getting sustain, big sustain from Aphrodite. You use your Chunga's healing debuff to reduce the sustain on the linked target. Lucky will get pulled a nice dance away, and Icky Sticky getting turned on with the Fear No Evil in a lot of trouble here as he drops out very low. Waxing Moon to chain CC and get the kill. The Kraken comes out, Headshot in a lot of trouble, doesn't quite find Athena as she lands, and Headshot's gonna be able to jump away by just a few feet. One glance picks up Explicit. Now Arabella is retreating as best she can. Lucky going to not chase, not go for the 4th kill, instead just turning, staying disciplined, and going for the Gold Fury.
Veteran move right here, Cret. This is really why we want to watch the Challenger Cup as Gold Fury goes down to Torch. Just approaching the 10-minute mark, we're going to see red in the Torch in red. 4,500 gold in the lead, 6,700 experience as Lucky pushes down this middle lane against Gitsticker. But both these teams are really playing well, but this is what we like to see. We like to see veteran moves. We like to see the next up-and-comers. So, you know, is Torch the most talented team here? We'll have to watch the entire tournament, but these moves, really exciting to see.
Oh, Lucky is going to get pushed back into the tower and body block. Great play from Cry for Turtle. Trying to use that speed boost, but the Doves will find the kill. Icky Sticky rotates in, but the mid camps are up on the right-hand side, and Headshot's going to be able to grab that. Icky Sticky really... Could have prioritized that better. The mid kill was done. There was no follow-up, and that could have been communicated about. Hold on a second. Forsaken Priest dashing in, and now it's going to be a nice push into tower. Headshot jumps away. Sonic Boom is charged up. Not going to go in, and it looks like that's going to be the reset.
New Wild's going to head back to base, so that middle laner is going to be out, as well as we're seeing Poseidon just come up to the lane right now, so no real difference there. Jungler versus support rotating in this mid-hand lane, while quietly Torch's Hunter pushes up on this tower, gets all the minions clear. It's going to be a minute or two before his minions arrive. Kronos is going to be here by then, so not going to be able to get too much poke on this tower in one glance, heading back, while in the middle lane, Boulder narrowly misses headshot.
Yeah, Headshot is able to jump and basically iframe that boulder, but he can't do the same thing for the Kraken. Sticker's going to get the kill and then fall to Forsaken Priest. In the middle lane, lots of damage coming out. Nuwa up in the air will find one, but one glance gets two. Arabella going to walk away, and actually Nuwa didn't get anything. It was just one glance with the snipes. Great half rotation. That's one of the strengths of Rom.
Yeah, Rom can sort of gank a lane like Thor. You don't really have to be all the way in the lane to do it. Kronos rotating over from the duo lane, so this is going to give Rom a good chance to do stuff, but Kronos trying his best to defend this tower, only worth 500 gold. It's going to go down, double taunt from Forsaken Priest, but a good move from Arabella is going to prevent that. Explicit has to go and defend his tower, already at about 75% HP. One glance laying into this, punishing Kronos because of that rotation.
When it comes to Hunters, there's two globals. You've got Neith and Apollo, and then there's Semi-Yellow. As one glance is going to commit. Now getting engaged on, but he has beads. Explicit roll towards Explicit. Does have the rewind. He's going to start using it here. Will not get burst down in time. His rewind position is going to give him some room, but Chunga is already in position. Luckyu is going to maybe get that kill. Forsaken Priest. Shield wall not going to connect as Kronos is able to get away. Cry for Turtle now retreating to the tower, but it looks like the reinforcement to come in favor of Icky Sticky. Luckyu dives. He gets it with the Crescent Moon Dance. Dances away with Moonlit Waltz, and will be a 1-for-0 plus tower in favor of Torch. As I was saying, Neith and Apollo fully global, but Apollo rotates to the lane, Neith stays in lane, and Rama just kind of goes halfway. Icky Sticky in the jungle in trouble, but he's going to go aggressive onto one glance.
Hits him. There's the ultimate. Sonic Boom only going to hit two players. Another ultimate coming out from the Bats. Good job chasing them out. Not going to be too aggressive, but just enough to prevent My Revenge from really turning and making something happen there. Both of those towers are tier 1s. That's not going to be too devastating for My Revenge. Holistically, that's 1,000 gold split between the middle and the duo lane. Towers are only worth about 500. So just good play coming out from Torch, and My Revenge showing up enough to really prevent the complete siege of these lanes, but losing towers in the process because of their rotations.
And speaking of losing, they're down 6,000 gold and 9,000 experience. They're on the path to dropping this game. Torch is looking very good. And, you know, remember, Torch was in the SPL play-ins. They didn't make the cut. Neither did Agilitas in the European Challengers Cup. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad. I mean, the teams that made it, Chunks and Thirst are actually doing pretty well. Thirst having a win against Snipe, and Chunks having a win against Dignitas, both two very old guard teams at this point in the North American scene. Torch were in the running with those teams. You got to give them that respect, and My Revenge definitely is having some trouble in this game.
Yeah, Torch playing like they want to remind people that they were their team to watch out for in the play-ins, and they're a team to watch out for right now. Rotating around this Gold Fury should be up in just a couple of minutes, so they want to make sure that something doesn't happen underneath their noses. Blue team being aware of what's happening, My Revenge really doesn't want to give that up to Torch, so here we see 4 members in red gyrating around this Gold Fury that's about to spawn, and all 5 of My Revenge on the left-hand side of the map.
But Torch is rotating over 2. It's 2 in the left-hand lane, 3 in the jungle. They're going to pull the Gold Fury, but they'll soon see My Revenge come around the corner and reset. Get Sticker pushes up a little bit far, but Headshot doesn't quite find the hit that he needs. Ward is taken down by Torch, and now it's Forsaken Priest looking for an engage. Now pull onto the Gold Fury, and it looks like they're going to try and force it. When you're forcing a Gold Fury, you have 2 options. You either take the Gold Fury and zone successfully, or you turn and fight. And it looks like Luckyu by himself is going to be able to zone off My Revenge, and now he might be banning a fight.
Missing the flip is Hercules. Here comes the waxing moon. Only going to hit the mage, and Good Bees is going to get him out, but Rom's trying to snipe him down. One more shot. Headshot gets two with the overhand smash. Out comes the new ult. Going to hit a couple, but Cry for Turtle taking a lot of damage from all these mages. One Glance gets the last hit. That's going to go to the Hunter. One Glance gets the double kill onto Arabella. The only one alive is Explicit, and he is behind his tower, folks. Torch pushing this tower with the help of some new minions. This is going to be a tier 2 tower at the 15-minute mark, and now Explicit has to run thanks to Athena's pro zoning. They're going to take the Gold Fury. They're going to take the team fight. They're going to take the tier 2, and they're going to move on to the right lane.
Yeah, and when they're moving on, they're going to try and clear out this jungle as quickly as they can. First of all, to save time, but second of all, because these buffs are very important. Looking at, let's say, the mid lane mage of Nuwa, running 240 magic power with that red buff, so it's giving her 40 magic power. That's a lot. That's the amount of magic power on boots, which is 1800 gold item, and it does give other stats, but my point is these buffs are worth a lot, and taking them away from your opponent and claiming them for yourselves is definitely worth the time. They're just going to pick up some farm in the right lane, get that pushed up before they return to base, and come back with even more items, probably about 4,000 gold spent.
Yeah, I mean, as Dignitas Null would say, it's not always about the stats, Cret. Taking away those buffs, sure, they provide stats to the enemy, but there's a 15,000 experience lead here going the way of Torch. They want to keep that gap very large, and by stripping the buffs, sure, they take away the damage and the mana from those two buffs, but they also take away the experience that hi-rez would earn by killing those camps. So good call, but right now LuckQ stuck out. It's all her versus 4 members, and Good Dancing's going to get her out of the whirlpool and away from danger.
LuckQ is still not gone for the Divine Ruin, and honestly, I don't think he's needed it yet, so I like the fact that he hasn't gone for it. Now, eventually, hopefully for my revenge at least, there will be a time where Hercules and Aphrodite will have sustained to the point that LuckQ will need to pick up that Divine Ruin. But when that does happen, it's honestly not that expensive. Looking at his GPM, he's got 417, 434 now with that tower going down and engaged on the left-hand side. Gisticker's going to ages out, but he finds himself still in the Fear No Evil, and One Glance will get the kill with the ROM ultimate. Now Cry for Turtle in the mix. Headshot jumps forward, looking for Explicit, who still has his rewind available. Will he use it? Not in time, as One Glance takes him down. Sonic Boom comes through. It's going to be a good hit. But now Cry for Turtle, no Arabella being turned on as she gets under the Phoenix, but will get taken down. One Glance with the triple, taking Phoenix damage, could be in trouble here, looking for the reset. Damage coming out, Forsaken Priest gets that one, so it's not going to be a Quadra, but the Phoenix should go down, and Torch are looking really good right now.
Yeah, 18 minutes in, this is the same, this is the Phoenix, this is as early as the Phoenix went down yesterday in the Thirst game, and that was considered one of the earliest Phoenixes in the entire SPL. Great play coming out. I do want to give a shout out to LuckQ. They were chasing the Mercury on the other side, and saw the second or third consecutive fantastic read coming out. Just, she always seems to be in the right position at the right time to throw that Waxing Moon. We saw it happen with the Chronos Rewind, one of the first kills. Chronos rewound in the long lane, and she nailed it as soon as he wound up out of the rewind, got that stun. Same thing with Mercury. He used his ultimate. And he used special delivery to get safely into the jungle. As soon as he showed up in the jungle with that dash, hits him with the stun, gets the stun. Torch is going to retreat after a free fire giant. 19 minutes in, 20-5 of the kills. 15,800 gold is the difference with gold.
So Torch has made an itemization decision that we talk about a lot, but it's one that, hold on, right-hand side, Achy Sticky in trouble as Fear No Evil comes out, damage, and that's a kill. Exactly what I wanted to talk about. Heartseeker Hoon bots. We usually only talk about it when it doesn't work. But when it does work, it allows Hoon bots to be a very potent source of damage, and Headshot sitting 6, 1, and 12. Great kill participation, 18 out of 21, and top damage on his team on Hoon bots. He's played very well, and he's taken the movement speed and the raw damage from that item and really made it work for him. That said, when you get off to a bad start, the Heartseeker can quickly become a problem, but this game, Headshot has kept it rolling.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the only unconventional build that we see on Headshot. Went home after that Jotun's Wrath and purchases a Shifter's Shield. Fantastic item, of course, but no Deathbringer. interesting as Torch just continues to siege down this right-hand lane.
You know what? I think he's trying to do AoE damage. That's my guess.
Overhand smash?
Yeah, and his ultimate, but a dive under tower. Cry for Turtle could be turned on here, but he is still a Hercules Sonic Boom comes through. It's going to hit too, and the Kraken could be big. It only finds the center in on one glance. Boulder comes through, and it doesn't quite connect with the ADC, who is probably the target. Icky Sticky's going to go down on the back of that Sonic Boom. Fear no evil late into the fight, but perfect timing. Maybe just come off a cooldown, I don't know. But Arabella now trying to escape. Explicit going deep for the kill, but an Aegis is going to buy Lucky some time, and there's the overhand smash to find the kill. Two players remain alive, and one glance is up in the air. The nice taunt. Nuwa from the backside picks up kill with an auto attack, and Headshot gets the double disengage. Dia side 5 for 0. Torch are going to go for the Titan. The surrender vote comes out, and My Revenge knows that this game is over. Is it too soon to say it? I'm still gonna. Torch is back.
Torch really played lights out that game against a team with a lot of talented individuals. Get Stinker, we talked about his 90-something success rate in Joust. 1-5-1. Just outstanding play. One glance. We saw some people in chat talking about one glance. Outstanding play from the red team Hunter. 10-0-8 is the slash line for one glance on that round. Just absolutely incredible. I gotta mention the Hun Bats. Just always omnipresent is the word I'm going to use for Hun Bats. Played by Headshot this game. Just absolutely. Honestly, really what you want in a jungler. A jungler, we always talk about, there's different mentalities, there's different ideas, there's different things to do. But at the end of the day, when you want to say VHH help, the jungler is ideally there, and that was the case. Aggressive or defensive, Headshot was everywhere he needed to be, and was a large part of why this team won this game.
Yeah, and we mentioned the Shifter Shield and how I thought that he was really going for the AoE damage. Well, he did 3,000 in that last fight. And given the fact that My Revenge was level 15, 11, 14, 15, and 14, they probably had a total of 9,000 health as a team. Headshot taking off a third of that is a lot. And that's damage after protections as well. So Headshot... And it was really the Hunbat's ult right in the middle of the team as My Revenge was trying to reform that, split them back up, that again confirms so many kills, then Headshot comes in and picks up the kills on the backhand side. He played it really well. I'm excited to see what Torch is going to do in this next game. We're going to be moving on to our next match, ASAP. It's gonna be BG on your brackets list. Snapchat Gaming versus the winners of That's a Padlin versus Team Nisa. So we'll be waiting for their match to finish and then be heading into the action. Stay tuned for the continuation of your North American Challengers Cup.